Now the tips, gentlemen. Time for the Swinburne tips.
Swinburne for your tips.
All systems ready.
Swinburne for your tips.
And here we go. Now Swinburne, unfortunately, is trailing Coco by 2 points. We'll see if we can rectify this, although it won't be easy because it's the same tips. This is happening more and more.
It's conspiracy.
What are you up to, Lincoln, and your tipping?
I'm sitting at 55. I got 5 last week.
Not bad. All right, here we go. Richmond v St Kilda at the Docklands. Computer says St Kilda. Mike?
No, I like Richmond. I think Port have played them back into form nicely, and I think they're going to continue on a roll.
Said by a true Glenelg supporter.
Yeah. Rick?
It's not a tiger for me. I'd have to go for the Saints, I think, at Docklands.
St Kilda for me, yes.
Carlton v Melbourne at the Julie. Computer says Carlton. Lincoln?
Yes, I think Carlton are doing enough at the moment to warrant a win over the D's.
And Sexton?
Yeah, although the Blues have dropped Brock McLean for the game against Melbourne, which is a bit surprised, but I think the Blues will do it.
And Rick and Neagle?
The computer says no. No, I think have to go for the Blues, I think, Peter.
Fair enough. Adelaide v Fremantle at Football Park. Computer says Fremantle, strangely enough. Lincoln?
Well, strangely enough, I think the computer is right.
No Tyson Edwards factor?
Oh, it will be emotional and wonderful for he, and thank goodness sanity prevailed. When we were here last week and suddenly a player who for 15 or 16 years probably would have missed a half a dozen games through injury over that period, to suddenly think it was all over.
What was the thinking behind that? That we wouldn't give him a farewell game? I just don't understand that.
I don't know, Rick. Do you know Neil Craig very well?
Look, I do know Neil. He played against Neil, and he coached Nord when I was the physio there at the football club. And look, I don't know the thinking behind it. I'm ambivalent again. I guess every player should have a farewell game of a champion of that stature, but I'm a bit surprised it actually went that way, to tell you the truth.
Is it a distraction?
I think the mistake was made that if they were feeling that his time had come, the coaching group and all of that should have, the Monday before perhaps the home game against Brisbane, called him in at 9 o'clock Monday morning and said, look, we've reached a decision that your illustrious career is coming to an end this Saturday. We're giving you a farewell send-off. We'll have a media conference at midday, and it'll be a great week for you. Rather than saying, well, look, you're going to be in the 25. You're not going to be in the 22. In case anyone falls over at Tullamarine, come with us and then fly back the next morning, get on the Westies bus and drive up to Manning, play a great game, and you might get a farewell the following week. You just don't do that there are certain players, because of Edwards' record, dual premiership player, they deserve, to be above the selection criteria, and I think that sanity's prevailed. He's deserving of this send-off, and it would be wonderful if the rest of the players could
rally,
lift a cog and win it for him.
Isn't he Leighton Hewitt's
best man at the wedding, I think?
And isn't he the godfather of one of the Leighton Hewitt babies, Mia or Cruz?
Could be.
Is it Cruz? C-R-U-Z.
You're more on the inner circle than us.
Having said that, as a West Adelaide supporter, would love to have had Tyson come back and play a few with Westies, but this will be it for him this weekend. He's definitely not.
Oh, dear. North Melbourne v Brisbane Lions at the Docklands. Did everyone give tips for that game? We got a bit distracted there. I think we're all tipping Fremantle.
I'll go for Fremantle too.
Right. Mark? Yes.
No, I'll pick Adelaide.
Adelaide. North Melbourne v the Bryans at Docklands. Computer says the Bryans. Lincoln.
Well, after beating Collingwood last week, I think we've got to go with the Bryans. That was a great, unexpected performance, but a great one.
Rick?
And I'd have to follow with Lyndon's commentary there. I think Brisbane are, even though Brown is struggling and the like, but Favola was on song last week, so I'd go with the Lions.
And Mike.
Yeah, go the Fev.
Fev. And West Coast v Geelong at Subiaco. Geelong, Mike?
Yep.
Rick?
Yeah, look, I have to go for Geelong, and I just want to thank my buddies at tennis tonight who are playing and tipping. I think we should bet on the line for Geelong.
for this class.
Lincoln,
Yes, Geelong.
Sydney v Essendon at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Computer says Sydney. Rick?
Yeah, I think the computer says yes, and I'll go for Sydney too. I think they've definitely got home ground advantage there.
He's funny. Lincoln?
I'm thinking Essendon might motor this one. I think I'll go Essendon.
Sexton.
Sydney for me.
Mm-hmm. Hawthorn v the Power at the G. Computer's tipped Hawthorn, of course. Yeah.
Probably not with Port. Their form of recent is not worthy, and I think Mark Choco Williams would agree with me, so I'm going to go the Hawks.
Sexton.
Yep, even without Franklin, I think Hawks.
And what's happened to Westhoff? They've dropped Westhoff.
Yeah, Shaggy's out. He'll be back at the Dogs.
He is Shaggy, isn't he? Yeah.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby. And Lincoln.
Well, the last 3 weeks for Port Adelaide have confounded me to fade out against Carlton, lose against Melbourne up in Darwin, and then to play like they did last weekend. This could be the third season in a row when they should have made the 8 and they may not, so Hawthorn.
I'll go Power because A, I always tip them, and B, this has happened in other seasons. They lose the games they're meant to win,
It's true, actually.
they win the games they're not meant to win. So it's a bit strange. Collingwood v the Western Bulldogs at Docklands. Computer says Collingwood. Rick.
I'm going to go for an upset here. I'm going to pick the Bulldogs against Collingwood.
There you are.
I just fancy the Bulldogs from time to time. I reckon this is their moment.
Mike Sexton.
Yep, and no Acker, so I think the Toggies.
And Lincoln Tyner.
I'd like to go the Doggies, but I still think Collingwood are a good outfit this year, even though they got rolled by the Lions last week. I'll give the Collie Wobbles another tip.
Thank you very much. Lincoln Tyner and Mike Sexton. And Rick Neagle, pleasure to have you in. And you're a credit to your family and to your club. Yeah, you are.
Thank you, Peter. Thanks
and
for having me on.
yourself. And that's as much as anybody can say. And you've made us feel better, I think, about a lot of things, Rick. And I thank you very much. A good guy. And Mitchell's lucky. He's lucky in you. Thank you very much, Rick Neagle.